Hi, my name is Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know we're going to have not only a stock market crash in 2016, but a housing crash in 2016. Don't you like how they tell us the housing's in recovery and the market's in recovery and the economy's in recovery? When it's not. It's in a bubble. Take housing. They loaned to a Wall Street firm called Blackstone. $7 billion. They buy 41,000 houses to go rent. Are you nuts? When they can't collect the rents anymore, those houses are going on the market and going to depress the real estate business by 30 or 40%. It's the same thing with stocks. They loan people money 600% more than they ever did before to buy stocks. That's all debt. And when the market goes down, they're going to have to dump those stocks to pay back that debt. And boy, will the market drop. Join my gang. Learn how to short. philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. You know, it used to be, hey, what's that hot stock? There's no hot stocks anymore. You know what it's all about now? It's identifying when to get in the market, when to get out. And why? Because the market is rigged. It's rigged to go up. There's nothing better. It's rigged to go up. It's called quantitative easing. Join my gang, philsgang.com. Have fun with us in a rigged market.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
They just told us right away that we're going to house you, we're going to feed you, and every single one of his medical bills is just all taken care of.
Saber que el tratamiento es completamente gratis nos quita una preocupación de encima.
We have phenomenal research, outstanding clinical care, and the generosity of public, which allow us to treat patients regardless of what it takes. And that's what makes St. Jude so magical.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, families never receive a bill for treatment, travel, housing, or food, because the only thing a family should worry about is helping their child live.
Doctors send us the toughest cases to be treated at St. Jude, and our patients come from all over the world.
When we come here, they told me, don't worry, everything's been taken care of.
We could never repay St. Jude for what they've given us.
Because of you.
Gracias a ti.
Because of you.
There is St. Jude.
What is Phil's Gang? Phil'sGang.com is a subscription website service that host Phil Grande has been teaching and providing daily stock investment recommendations for over 15 years, all in the name of making its customers educated investors and helping the kids at St. Jude's Children's Hospital. If you want to take charge of your financial future, then do not wait any longer. For only $49.95, become a Phil's Gang member today. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
Generally agree that monetary policy was not the main reason for the housing bubble.
What are you, nuts? Of course, monetary policy was the reason for the housing bubble. That's Ben Bernanke. Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. He's lying. Listen to this. In December 2000, interest rates were 6.5%. Within the next 30 months, Bernanke dropped them down to 1%. Because of that, mortgage originations grew from 1.5 trillion to 5 trillion. That was by the end of 2003. The housing bubble was inflated, and it was continued being fueled by his policies, which eventually we saw mortgages that grew from 28 trillion mortgages to 50 trillion. He lied. But here's the important thing. We were able to take advantage of that here at Phil's Gang, and we were able to make money because of it. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, families never receive a bill for treatment, travel, housing, or food, because the only thing a family should worry about is helping their child live.
Doctors send us the toughest cases to be treated at St. Jude, and our patients come from all over the world.
When we come here, they told me, don't worry, everything's been taken care of.
We could never repay St. Jude for what they've given us.
Because of you.
Gracias a ti.
Because of you.
There is St. Jude.
At philsgang.com, we promote core technicals and chart analysis that enables each Phil's Gang member to be the best investor they can be. At philsgang.com, stock investing is defined in detail by the Phil's Gang standards. Working together, we achieve our goals and ultimately provide a truly unique profit-taking experience for our members. This is what philsgang.com does, and no one does it better than the off-the-Wall Street maverick, Phil Grande. For over 15 years, Phil coaches and teaches that stock investing diversity goes beyond fundamentals and stories. We believe that amazing things happen when people invest in themselves by following Phil's format and recommendations. At philsgang.com, we believe in the desire to embrace, build, and deliver on our core values and promises. And for over 15 years, Phil Grande has delivered on that promise. For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. There is only one talk show host, Phil Grande, who delivers both social and financial talk. Not even Hannity or Rush can deliver a 1-2 punch like that. That's Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Phil Grande is unique, the industry leader, the first talk show host ever to combine social issues and finance into winning stock market ideas. That's Phil Grande, philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
One of the people I'm running against, I won't use names because we don't want to insult anybody, and this is really such nice religious people. I love it. Such great Christians. I can't say bad. Am I allowed to say bad in this room? No. Okay.
Donald seems to be a little rattled. For whatever reason, he is very, very dismayed. And I guess as conservatives continue to unite behind our campaign, as his poll numbers continue to go down, that seems to be, he's a little testy about it.
Unbelievable. I wish they would start talking about, now that they're getting closer, I mean, let's face it, it's going to be Trump, okay, who's going to get the nomination. And I think now that they're getting closer to this, what really gets me, and what really gets me is the fact that, can you imagine if this was a Democrat with that kind of a lead? Can you imagine if Bernie Sanders had that kind of a lead? Every newspaper, every radio show, everybody, every TV program in the country would say he's the nominee. If he had the lead, Bernie Sanders had the amount or the lead that Trump has, the amount of excitement that Trump has, the polls that Trump has. The press would say he's the nominee, no question. Why are we having any more debates? Let's go home. He's the nominee. But they won't do that. They won't do it. And I think it's going to be Kudlow, and I think it's going to be Sanders. I mean, not Kudlow. Sorry. Yeah, Evan, help us. Who just dropped out? Okay. Ben Carson, we just got word from my producer, Ben Carson just dropped out of the race. So that's what I'm talking about. It's going to be Trump. So, here's what Larry Kudlow said, too, about Sanders. I agree, even though I hate to agree with Kudlow. He's right. It's going to be Sanders. It's not going to – I don't think Hillary Clinton's going to make it.
The Iowa caucus is going to be between Trump and Cruz. I mean, we know that. I don't know who's going to win that. Here's my forecast. I have a new – it just came to me watching the Democratic debate. When was that? Monday? Sunday? I couldn't. I couldn't. I tried. I couldn't.
Saturday night.
I tried. I couldn't.
Just what I want to do on a Saturday night.
So now I believe Donald Trump will take 49 of 50 states from Bernie Sanders. Okay? Trump is going to sweep the country.
You do not think Hillary Clinton will be the nominee.
I do not.
No, Hillary Clinton is not going to be the nominee. I think after this movie, 13 Hours, I think people know her now. They first of all, they're sick of the Clintons, like they're sick of the Bushes. And I think for the country, we need somebody fresh. Look, Cruz is fine, but Cruz is still the establishment. If Cruz was vice president, I'd love it. Okay, I would love it. But we got to talk about this country. We got to talk about economics. This morning we wake up and the market's up nearly 250 points. Now it's negative 15 points. It's in the hole. People don't get what's going on here. If you go to my videos and you go to my homepage, philsgang.com, you will see where I predicted this crash started in May. And you see my videos where I said, this is it. Mark this date down. This is the beginning of the stock market crash. And then I said that again as we got into June. I said that again as we got into August. I kept on following all the way from June, showing you why it was getting worse, what was going on, and to get our people, our gang members, positioned to be short to make money. But here's what's going on. We got to start talking about issues. Stop wasting time with these debates. Let's name a vice president for Trump, and let's name a vice president for Sanders, and let's get on with it. We got some real serious stuff. I mean, we got to stop. You know, everybody talks about how China this morning. First thing I wake up, China. China's doing great now, they said. And all of a sudden we're up 250 points. I said to my wife, Marta, I said, these people are crazy. These people are crazy. Everything's okay now? Oil was down to around $28.36. Last week when it was down around $29.95, we went down 400 points. Everybody on CNBC said, oh, look at this. Oil is at $29.95. Oil is now going down, or the market's going down 400 points. The 400-point drop had to do with $29.95 oil. Really? But today it's at $28.23. And yet the market's only down 39. It was up 200, 250. Now it's down 39. I thought it was oil. Why aren't we down? What's going on? Look, we got to start talking about the issues. The biggest issue is retirement. The biggest issue is money. How do people make money? How do they get ready for their retirement? How do they save? And under Obama, when you add up all the free government goodies, we've got to stop. We got to stop these goodies. We got to stop all these entitlements. It's killing us, especially the entitlement of disability checks, where you get paid for life not to work. It's doubled. The amount of people doubled. And they changed the whole criteria for you to get $12,000 a year. They will take, if you go in to apply for disability and you say you got a back pain, the doctor says it's fraud. He doesn't have a back pain. Under Obama, the new application, right? Not the regulation, but new application to get this thing to qualify, says that you got to take the person's word over the doctor. Got to take the person's word. If he says, I've got a terrible backache, I want to be on disability, and the doctor said he's a fraud, he doesn't have backache, and the law or the ruling that Obama put in place, I forgot what it's called, look it up, that says that they have to take the person's, his own diagnosis over the doctor. Isn't that crazy? Under Obama, when you add, and same thing with Bush, not as bad with Bush. Under Obama, when you add all the free government goodies that a single mother with one child with gross income of $29,000 receives, that she effectively ends up with $57,000. So if you don't work and you're on disability checks and all the goodies you now can get, if you're married, or if you're single, you're not married, and you have one child, you can end up with $57,327 in net income and benefits, and you don't pay any taxes. She's better off than the mom with a gross income of $69,000, a middle class person, who after taxes has a net income of $57,000. So you're better off going on these programs. This is what we got to talk about, because this causes debt. And when you have debt and deficits, it causes jobs. People don't get that. They don't understand it. I wish somebody would go on TV and put up a blackboard and explain. When you have debt, the government keeps on piling on debt, 19 trillion, keeps going up. That means there's no money left for investment. In other words, the more debt than the money that comes in, which, by the way, they're spending more money that comes in, it costs jobs. We'll talk more about this in stocks when we get back. Join my gang, 877-600-GANG.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. We're hitting a new year, and you should, at the same time, come in with a new attitude, a new philosophy that you're going to make money when the stock market goes down. That's right. This is the third bubble, and you don't think it's going to crash? The first bubble did. The dot-com, the second bubble, the housing and financial con. Why do you think the third bubble, which is twice as big as the two previous bubbles, is any different? It's not different. Matter of fact, it's worse. It's going to go down faster. The stock market is going to go down 50%. You're going to lose 50% of the money you have in the stock market. You're going to lose 45% of the equity you have in your home. You're going to lose 30% of the money you have in your savings. Yes, you are. Trust me. Join my gang, Phil's gang, so that we can show you how to benefit, how to profit. But you can't just sit there and own a stock. You got to learn how to short the market. Join my gang. Learn how to short. philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Do you think gold is money?
No.
Gold's not money? You got to be kidding. That's Ron Paul asking Ben Bernanke. Of course, Ben Bernanke lied. Of course gold is money. But here's what he doesn't want you to know. They've been suppressing gold, trying to push gold down, because it competes with the dollar. The Federal Reserve doesn't sell gold. They sell dollars. Gold competes. Gold will dictate in a free market where interest rates should be. That's the last thing they want, because they manipulate interest rates. Now, has your broker told you that? Has your planner told you that? No. Well, I told my gang that. I explained it to them, and we positioned ourselves to be in a perfect position for gold and copper as it dropped. That's why you want to join my gang, Phil's gang. We're right on top of this. philsgang.com. Join today. philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. I'm here to help you. I'm tired, and you should be tired, of listening to these financial shows like CNBC where they're all geniuses and they're always wrong. Look, stop worrying about the price to book and the price to sales and all the stuff they tell you think you need to know. You don't need to know any of that. Anybody can make money in the stock market using charts. It's about money flow. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
We front-loaded at the Federal Reserve an enormous rally in order to accomplish a wealth effect. So I wouldn't be surprised at what's happening. I wouldn't blame it on China. We're always looking for excuses.
That's right. Don't blame it on China. Hi, I'm Phil Grande of Phil's Gang, and that's Fisher. And Fisher was a member of the Federal Reserve Board, one of the 11 members. Now he's admitting that this entire stock market rally has been rigged to the upside. It's been front-loaded. How they front-loaded? Using the Federal Reserve to print money, to borrow money, so they could give people money at 0% interest. Who? Wall Street, not Main Street people. Now that we understand that this has been a bubble, I told you it's been a bubble, now's the time to get ready to catch the next crash. This will be the third crash. Get ready now. Join my gang, Phil's Gang, and learn how to short stocks. You can't do that with your 401k. philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. You know, many people left the stock market after the crash, and here's why.
Responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
And that's still going on. That's your planner. They don't represent you. They represent themselves, your money manager. But you have to make a change. You can't change them. You make the change. Join my gang, philsgang.com, so that we can take care of you. philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Generally agree that monetary policy was not the main reason for the housing bubble.
What are you, nuts? Of course, monetary policy was the reason for the housing bubble. That's Ben Bernanke. Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. He's lying. Listen to this. In December 2000, interest rates were 6.5%. Within the next 30 months, Bernanke dropped them down to 1%. Because of that, mortgage originations grew from 1.5 trillion to 5 trillion. That was by the end of 2003. The housing bubble was inflated, and it was continued being fueled by his policies, which eventually we saw mortgages that grew from 28 trillion mortgage to 50 trillion. He lied. But here's the important thing. We were able to take advantage of that here at Phil's Gang, and we were able to make money because of it. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Show. This segment is brought to you by Phil's Talking Trader Stock Charts.
The administration has made dependency a watchword of its administration, and therefore they have reduced the standards for people.
So it's easier to get disability? Is it really?
It is much easier.
A lot of men, 25, 26 years old, sitting on a porch all day long because every two weeks they get a crazy check, and they're on disability.
That's right, a crazy check. Remember, under Social Security Disability Benefit Reform, that's when they changed it, where they said, you can't be hard on these people. You can't be hard on checking to see if there's fraud here. No, if the doctor says, no, there's fraud, I'm sorry, it's the patient. We take his word first. This is unbelievable. It's all about votes. Welcome back to Phil's Gang. Look, the market's down 17 points. We're at this level on the market where we have a base. We have 3 points on a chart, and those are lows, and it's forming a base. It will break these lows, because right now the biggest problem, we're in earnings season, and with earnings season they're not allowed to buy back their own stocks. So a lot of these companies, especially the banks that are doing so poorly, they can't buy their own stocks back to push up their stock. You buy your own stock back, your earnings are terrible. So when your earnings are terrible, your profits are terrible, your stock price goes down. But they've been able to stop that, as you know, from this humongous stock buyback program, which pushes the stocks right back up. Because you buy more of your company's shares, you have less shares, and you're spreading your earnings over fewer shares, your stock price goes up artificially. They've been doing that for 7 years. Well, they could have got hurt. This couldn't be worse timing for them, right in the middle of earnings season, all this stuff that's going on, especially the price of oil. Now, what we want to focus on right now is the financials. The financials are really taking a hit, and that's a good place to short your stock. Now, if you've been with me on my chart, there was 2 places that identified a sell signal. One was at right around on 7/24/2015, July 24th. And it went from about $211 down to $171. So that's an 18% drop. Now, this is not a game. This works. You can sign up for this. Then another time, Goldman Sachs turned green, which meant the institution money was coming in. And it turned green, which meant that it had a buy signal. Now, the buy signal was at $184. And then it went up to about 199, say 200, just about, it's almost 200, 199.77, rounded off 200. So that's about a 9% gain. So 18% on the way down, and then we had a buy signal let's say, let's make it safe. Say a 7% gain. So 18% gain when it went down. It always goes down faster than goes up. It went back up 7%. So we were able to identify those buy signals. Then the last sell signal on Goldman Sachs came in around November 18th, around $194. And it went from $194 down to about $154. That's another 20%. So just think of the two times that we had a sell signal. One gave us an 18% return, and the other gave us a 20% return. Cut those in half if you want to be very, very conservative. Cut them in half. What is wrong with that? Absolutely nothing. That's the beautiful thing about, again, watching the money and not the company, not the fundamentals. Listen, when you listen to stuff like this, listen to this.
My East Texas buddy Chuck Roach and I apparently both have bought GM recently. I think it's up 20%, counting the dividend in the next year.
Gary, what do you say?
2 words. Chuck Roach picked it. That's 4.
What's so funny about that? GM. You got one person saying GM is a good pick, and then you got another person laughing about it. What do you get out of that? I don't understand. Wouldn't it be better, instead of listening to these dopes, or listening to a planner who doesn't have your interest at heart? Because remember, a planner or money manager, they get paid on the size of the fund. They don't get paid on how much money they make you or returns they make for you. So GM, wouldn't it be better, instead of guess at it, you would know that when the institutions buy, you get a buy signal. When they sell, you get a sell signal? Of course it is. But the biggest problem we got right now, and why we need a new president, and why we got to get rid of anybody, I don't care. These people that have been in Washington, we can't let them be president. That's why I think Trump will do so good. See, here's the problem. The press won't report it's not China. Everybody's saying, hanging on to China, saying it's China. That's why this economy is failing, which started in May. And I told you this failing started in May, the crash. They're saying it's China. It's not. We're going to get a 30 to 50% correction in the stock market, and you'll benefit if you're a gang member. And the reason we're going to get this correction, and why it started back in May, is because of our president and our Congress failing to govern properly. It's that simple. That's the price. It's not China. China, I mean, you can pick out China, you can pick out Greece, you can always find a fall guy. But the real problem comes back to who's the president of the United States and who are these people in Congress. And when you take those two groups, they fail to govern properly. Now we bring somebody in that can govern properly. I mean, let's think about it. If you take Obama and you take Congress, they're spending more than they take in tax revenue. How can that work out for us? The best example, as I told you last week, is in the first 3 months of 2016, they are now saying we will have spent $250 billion more than we took in, and what we took in is going to be at historic highs. But we're going to be a deficit of $250 billion. That's not about China. It's about bad governing. If you're spending $250 billion more than you take in, you lose jobs. It's that simple. If you're working for somebody, you're going to lose your job or they're going to put you on part-time. That's what happens when you have debt. More when we get back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. We're hitting a new year, and you should, at the same time, come in with a new attitude, a new philosophy that you're going to make money when the stock market goes down. That's right. This is the third bubble, and you don't think it's going to crash? The first bubble did. The dot-com, the second bubble, the housing and financial con. Why do you think the third bubble, which is twice as big as the two previous bubbles, is any different? It's not different. Matter of fact, it's worse. It's going to go down faster. The stock market is going to go down 50%. You're going to lose 50% of the money you have in the stock market. You're going to lose 45% of the equity you have in your home. You're going to lose 30% of the money you have in your savings. Yes, you are. Trust me. Join my gang, Phil's gang, so that we can show you how to benefit, how to profit But you can't just sit there and own a stock. You got to learn how to short the market. Join my gang. Learn how to short. philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Do you think gold is money?
No.
Gold's not money? You got to be kidding. That's Ron Paul asking Ben Bernanke. And of course, Ben Bernanke lied. Of course, gold is money. But here's what he doesn't want you to know. They've been suppressing gold, trying to push gold down because it competes with the dollar. The Federal Reserve doesn't sell gold. They sell dollars. Gold competes. Gold will dictate in a free market where interest rates should be. That's the last thing they want because they manipulate interest rates. Now, has your broker told you that? Has your planner told you that? No. Well, I told my gang that. I explained it to them, and we positioned ourselves to be in a perfect position for gold and copper as it dropped. That's why you want to join my gang, Phil's Gang. We're right on top of this. philsgang.com. Join today. philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Do you ever notice they always tell you to buy, but they never tell you to sell? They never tell you to sell. Well, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you understand. When you buy a stock, and if all you do is buy, and you never sell short to make money where they're going down, you have to be so good. That means you got to buy the companies that are always going up. Nobody's that good. Nobody could possibly be that good. You got to make money just like you make money when you buy a stock. You got to make money when a stock goes down. That's how you even the playing field. That's how professionals make money. They make money going up and make money going down. But they don't tell you that. They just want you to try to make money going up. They don't want you to make money going down because they make that money on you. Join my gang, Phil's Gang. Learn how to short stocks at philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, everybody, the hot stocks Apple or Google, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. What people don't understand is every stock is the same. If the institutions buy it, it goes up. If they don't, it goes down. It doesn't matter the name. That's why we use charts to identify money in, money out. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
They just told us right away that we're going to house you, we're going to feed you, and every single one of his medical bills is just all taken care of.
Saber que el tratamiento es completamente gratis nos quita una preocupación de encima.
We have phenomenal research, outstanding clinical care, and the generosity of public, which allow us to treat patients regardless of what it takes. And that's what makes St. Jude so magical.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, families never receive a bill for treatment, travel, housing, or food, because the only thing a family should worry about is helping their child live.
Doctors send us the toughest cases to be treated at St. Jude, and our patients come from all over the world.
When we come here, they told me, don't worry, everything's been taken care of. We could never repay St. Jude for what they've given us.
Because of you.
Gracias a ti.
Because of you.
There is St. Jude.
AMVA, and I've lost over 30K on it, but it had excellent earnings the last several quarters, and if they make the cameras and drone equipment, I don't know why it's so weak these days.
It's so weak these days because you don't pay attention to what they make. You don't care about their earnings. The problem is the institutions are pulling their money out, and that's all you need to know, and that's what we identify in the chart, and that's why I become a Phil's Gang member.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Show. This segment is brought to you by philsgang.com.
It has been confirmed that the 5 American prisoners held by Iran have been freed, some of them, including the Washington Post reporter, leaving Tehran this morning. It was not exactly part of the nuclear deal, but the nuclear deal certainly opened up a dialogue that allowed for this prisoner release to happen. That nuclear deal was brokered and announced here in Vienna yesterday. it was an enormous breakthrough. This is what people are calling implementation day, as the terms of the agreement are starting to take effect. After Iran, it has been certified, lived up to its obligations, put checks in place to make it very difficult for Iran to develop a nuclear weapon. So what does Iran get from this deal? First of all, it gets access to international markets. It can bank. Iranians can move money into and out of the country. Iran can now sell oil legally. It unfreezes tens of billions of dollars.
Unbelievable, isn't it? And we're paying interest. It was like $400 billion that we captured, that we froze rather, back under Jimmy Carter, and for what they did to us. But now, not only are we giving them that 400 billion back, or 400, I think it's 400 million, we're going to pay interest of 1.5 billion, I think it is. Why are we paying interest? 1.5 billion on 400 million. They did something wrong. We went in and seized the money for what they did to us, take over our embassy and so forth. But now this administration gives them interest on their money? Are you kidding? This is nuts. This is what's going on with our country. This is why the market's falling apart. This is why you got to be in a position to always make money when the market falls apart. Now, the biggest thing, as I said, is not China. The biggest thing is the deficits. You can't have a Congress and Obama, and think about these two. Since he came into office to the White House 7 years ago, he spent 77% or $8 trillion more than he took in revenues, even though the revenues were at historic highs. Now, here's the problem. When you have deficits and you have large debt, that reduces private savings. You use private savings for investment, which creates jobs. So the reason you don't have jobs, so just kind of imagine you have this factory and there's 20 machines with 20 people working. But now think of about 2 machines with 2 people working. Why? Well, because of debt, you lose those jobs. Because there's so much money that comes in. When you spend more than you take in, now you have to give all this money to different programs. So you're not creating jobs. The one big program you should be giving money to is investment. Investment to create jobs. But no, that's not where money's going. It's going to these disability checks and so forth. So what do? When we lose all of these jobs because of the deficits and because of the debt, they turn around and replace those jobs by having the taxpayer pay for them. What do I mean? The government will take the money that came in. Remember, they spent more than they took in, and therefore we're losing jobs. So think of 20 machines and 20 people. Now you only got 5 machines and 5 people. So what the government does is they increase the size of government health programs, education programs, and social service programs. That's what the government does. They'll increase the size of these programs so to create low-paying jobs in these government health, education, and social service sectors. Isn't that ridiculous? Isn't that crazy? So the more we spend and we take in less revenues, the way and therefore our jobs are lost, we turn around and juice up jobs with government health, education, and social programs. We increase those, which you increase the jobs, but we, the middle class taxpayer, pays for those jobs, pays for them. In December alone, no one pointed out, even though we increased our jobs by 225,000, 200,000 of the 225 were, guess what? Were related to government taxpayer-sponsored health, education, and social service jobs. Are you kidding me? But nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about it. Obama's monetary policies, his deficits, and debt has put a massive drag on our economy. And same with Bush. A massive drag on our economy. That led to what? Income inequality. Because once you get that big drag on, all of a sudden they got to figure, well, how do we raise taxes? Because we got to go to the big guys and we got to make them do good, help them in the stock market, because most of their wealth is in the stock market. We'll rig the stock market up for the rich. That way we can make up the difference in the tax revenue we're not taking in. That's why they do it. So they figured, let's go to the big guys like Soros and the rest of them, and we'll let them make a fortune in the stock market. Because remember, the folks on Main Street, they don't have most of their investments in the stock market. They're mostly in programs that are, income producing programs, fixed income producing programs with low interest rates is like cyanide. Are you kidding? So they say, well, let's make the 1 percentile very, very wealthy. We'll rig the stock market, let it go up 200%, and then we'll grab all that tax. But the problem is, even though the revenues are coming in, historic revenues, because of what the wealthy are paying, because they made a fortune in the market, we still spend more than they take in. So we're right back to these policies that create health, education, social service jobs. Isn't that nuts? So as far as the stock market goes, the market has no way of rallying, no way of making new highs. There's only one place for the market to go, is down. So if you join my gang and you participate with me, especially in the next 6 months, you're going to do just fine. Because we're going to participate together in making money every time the market drops. When you wake up this morning and you see the market's up 250 points, because they say China's okay again, now it's negative, now it's up 16 points. What's that tell you? There's a real problem. They can't get going. See, and more deficits, the more deficits you have, it really hurts. Because when you have these deficits of $250 billion for the first 3 months of 2016, we spend $250 billion more than we take in. That causes us, the Fed, to print more money, borrow more money, which causes inflation, which reduces the purchasing power of the dollar, which erodes savings and raises prices on all the essential goods like food and clothing and medical care, which hurts who? The poor. So they get hurt. And inflation kills the middle class, because the more you print this money and the more you borrow, because our Congress and our president is spending more than they take in, that's called inflation. And that is felt by the middle class and the poor. But it's also felt by our seniors. Nobody wins, just the 1 percentile. So the rise in these prices on essential goods and services like food and clothing and medical care is so harmful, especially to our seniors. And the low interest rates is lethal to their fixed incomes, while the rich get richer. And there's the inequality. But Obama, in his speech the other night, blamed inequality on everybody except himself. The bottom line, the truth is, Obama's economic policies of financial engineering, redistribution of wealth, has caused 77% or $8 trillion increase in deficits in 7 years. Are you kidding? And that debt has curbed savings, which has curbed putting investment in. And look what's going on with the oil sector right now. Nobody's investing in oil and fracking, and they're laying off thousands and thousands of jobs. I'm telling you, you got to learn how to make money when this market underperforms. And I'll show you how to do it. Join my gang right now, 877-600-GANG.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. At philsgang.com, we promote core technicals and chart analysis that enables each Phil's Gang member to be the best investor they can be. At philsgang.com, stock investing is defined in detail by the Phil's Gang standards. Working together, we achieve our goals and ultimately provide a truly unique profit-taking experience for our members. This is what philsgang.com does, and no one does it better than the off-the-Wall Street maverick, Phil Grande. For over 15 years, Phil coaches and teaches that stock investing diversity goes beyond fundamentals and stories. We believe that amazing things happen when people invest in themselves by following Phil's format and recommendations. At philsgang.com, we believe in the desire to embrace, build, and deliver on our core values and promises. And for over 15 years, Phil Grande has delivered on that promise. For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. I'm here to help you. I'm tired, and you should be tired, of listening to these financial shows like CNBC where they're all geniuses and they're always wrong. Look, stop worrying about the price to book and the price to sales and all the stuff they tell you think you need to know. You don't need to know any of that. Anybody can make money in the stock market using charts. It's about money flow. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
They just told us right away that we're going to house you, we're going to feed you, and every single one of his medical bills is just all taken care of.
Saber que el tratamiento es completamente gratis nos quita una preocupación de encima.
We have phenomenal research, outstanding clinical care, and the generosity of public, which allow us to treat patients regardless of what it takes. And that's what makes St. Jude so magical.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, families never receive a bill for treatment, travel, housing, or food, because the only thing a family should worry about is helping their child live.
Doctors send us the toughest cases to be treated at St. Jude, and our patients come from all over the world.
When we come here, they told me, don't worry, everything's been taken care of. We could never repay St. Jude for what they've given us.
Because of you.
Gracias a ti.
Because of you.
There is St. Jude.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of philsgang.com. You know, everybody, the hot stocks Apple or Google, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. What people don't understand is every stock is the same. If the institutions buy it, it goes up. If they don't, it goes down. It doesn't matter the name. That's why we use charts to identify money in, money out. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Generally agree that monetary policy was not the main reason for the housing bubble.
What are you, nuts? Of course, monetary policy was the reason for the housing bubble. That's Ben Bernanke. Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. He's lying. Listen to this. In December 2000, interest rates were 6.5%. Within the next 30 months, Bernanke dropped them down to 1%. Because of that, mortgage originations grew from 1.5 trillion to 5 trillion. That was by the end of 2003. The housing bubble was inflated, and it was continued being fueled by his policies, which eventually we saw mortgages that grew from 28 trillion mortgage to 50 trillion. He lied. But here's the important thing. We were able to take advantage of that here at Phil's Gang, and we were able to make money because of it. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Show. This segment is brought to you by philsgang.com.
While the two tracks of negotiations were not directly related, and they were not, there is no question that the pace and the progress of the humanitarian talks accelerated in light of the relationships forged and the diplomatic channels unlocked over the course of the nuclear talks.
It was just a coincidence. Just a coincidence. They're going to get their money, and just coincidence. They're releasing these guys. Are you kidding me? This is just a joke. Welcome back to Phil's Gang. Look, all you got to think about at night when you put your head on the pillow: how am I going to retire? How am I going to make money? And you hear me every day. Every day you hear me saying the same thing. You got to learn how to make money when the market goes down, and you don't listen. Now, I'm not telling you to get rid of your 401k. I'm not telling you to do that. You'll do that on your own eventually. What you should do is you follow me, especially those who are working, very, very busy, don't have time to learn anything. You take the PT2 chart, join the gang, and you take the PT2 chart. And with the PT2 chart, you will be ahead of your 401k. You'll know in advance when you're going to be losing a ton of money in your 401k. You're going to know when you're going to be making money in the 401k. Let the PT2 chart assist your 401k. We have planners all over the country, who use the PT2 to guide their clients with their 401ks, to tell them, okay, we're going to go into a rough patch here now. We got to do this so we hedge you from losing money. We got to do this so you're not going to lose money. So you can hedge. So as long as you say, I know one thing about this. Phil's right. Charting tells you and gives you, in a well advanced, gives you a signal when something's going to happen. Now, go to my site, philsgang.com, and you'll see right there in May is when I said we were going to have this market crash. I said, write this date down. The stock market started crashing. Then in June, I said the same thing. The market continues to crash. I said, I never saw so much money coming out of the stock market, institutions pulling their money out of the stock market than I saw in June, the last week of June. I said, this is unbelievable. In May, what I saw was a stock market rally, which 25% of the rally was Apple, which was ridiculous. And then in June, we see the institutions pulling out all their money like we've never seen before, which gave us a sell signal. We were then short. So when August came and the market dropped 1,900 points, we were there to take advantage of it. So at least join the gang, at least learn how to use the chart so it benefits and assists your 401k or what money you have in the stock market, for heaven's sakes. Makes sense. Things aren't going to get better until we get rid of these liberals that are either in Congress or forget liberals. Until we get some smart people, that's what I should say. Until we get leadership. I don't care if they're liberal, I don't care if they're Democrat, I don't care if they're Republican, I don't care if they're independent. I want people you can trust who are leaders who understand that Obamacare was so bad. I want people to understand that when it comes to China, there is nothing new. Our trade deficits with China is a disaster. It cost us over 5 million jobs, which 76.9% were manufacturing jobs alone, because of the trade deficits we have with China. We're competing with low-wage workers in China. It's driven down our wages back here at home for our workers. NAFTA has taken and drove our wages down here back home for our workers. That's NAFTA. Nothing to do with China, just NAFTA. Sure, it does have something to do with China trade program. Let's put it in perspective. In the year 2000, we had 20 million manufacturing high-paying jobs. By December 2014, we were just 12 million jobs. 20 million to 12 million. But nobody talks about it. China's currency. They manipulate it. Someone's got to deal with that. You hear Trump talk about it all the time. But our Congress, our president, they're not leaders. They don't deal with the currency. They don't deal with the manipulation, where China pegs their currency to our dollar. They don't address it. So that causes a trade surplus. So instead of focusing on currency manipulation by China and trade deficits, Obama and Congress spent all their time on Obamacare, which in itself was another job killer. On top of the trade deficit is a job killer. So they make it worse by putting in Obamacare, which is a job killer. You got two job killers. It raises the cost of employing workers. That's what it does. And in the process, it depresses wages, reduces employment. Obamacare discourages companies from hiring new workers and encourages them to reduce the hours of full-time workers to part-time. This is what they're working on. Instead of saying, let's nail China, no longer will we let them peg their currency to our dollar, which is costing us all kinds of jobs. We went from 20 million manufacturing jobs down to 12 million. And no longer are we going to have these deficits where we spend more tax dollars than we take in. Therefore, instead of having 20 people at my machines in my factory, with 20 people, 20 machines, I only have 5 people at those machines. Because when money comes in to the government, they can't use it. What do they can't use it to grow the economy. They use it for Medicare, Medicaid, Obamacare, health care, all the entitlements. So there's nothing to drive the economy. But there's a fourth program that nobody talks about. It pays people not to work for the rest of their lives. It's called disability benefits. And that's through our Social Security Administration. The problem, Obama doubled the amount of people who get a disability check from 6 million to 12 million. He doubled it. While he doubled 6 million to 12 million, in that same time period, he only created 2.5 million jobs. But he doubles the people who go on disability checks from 6 million to 12. Are you nuts? We spend, you and I, $200 billion a year, literally paying Americans not to work. And you want to know why you shouldn't, you want to know why you need to know when we get a signal that the market's going to go down? You want to have a signal, you want to know that signal so that you can make money when the market goes down? Of course the market's going to go down. How's the market going to go down with this kind of stuff? Paying $200 billion a year, literally paying Americans not to work. You don't think the market's going to go down? Well, we're not creating jobs with that kind of nonsense. Of course it's going to go down. But let's put you in a position so you don't have to worry about it anymore. Here, let me give you the number. 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-GANG. And go to my homepage, philsgang.com, and look at the videos that are up that I dated, that are there when I said this market was beginning to crash in May. I mean, this is crazy. We have, just think of these disability checks. They're being paid not to work. These are able-bodied Americans. They are given these paychecks for life. Now that crowds out our ability to direct these sources to those who really need a disability check. The last 3 times the unemployment rate has gone up, applications for Social Security disability insurance went up. Think about that. This is crazy. Democrats and the liberal politicians argue the increase in disability checks is due to aging baby boomers. No, it's not. It's not due to aging baby boomers. Disability checks are going up because Obama gutted and relaxed Clinton's eligibility criteria for these disability checks, which accounted for 45% of the growth. 45% is when he cut Bill Clinton's eligibility criteria. Those disability checks went up 45%. And then Obama, like Carter, he goes in, he decides to do a Social Security Disability Benefit Reform Act where it maintains our commitment to treat disabled American citizens fairly humanely. Well, that's okay if they were disabled, but they're not. So join my gang right now, 877-600-GANG, subscribe, and so the next time the market goes down, you'll be in a great position and use it to aid your 401k. See you on the charts.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grande, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It's up to me to make my dreams.
Hi,